A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Act 4. The Last of the Spirits.
Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come? Might you lower that hood that conceals your head? All I can see of your form is your outstretched hand. You are about to show me shadows of the things that have not happened but will happen. Is that so, Spirit? Ghost of the future? I fear you more than any specter I have seen, but as I know your purpose is to do me good, and as I hope to live to be another man from what I was, I am prepared to accompany you, and do it with a thankful heart. Will you not speak to me? Lead on, lead on. The night is waning fast, and it is a precious time to me, I know. Lead on, Spirit.
I suppose that's deep enough. He's dead. It won't matter to him either way. I thought he'd never die, but he's got his own at last. Hello, have you come to visit? Or maybe you've come to tell me. What's the old man done with his money? I haven't heard either. Left it to his company, maybe. He hasn't left it to me, that's all I know. It's likely to be a cheap funeral, for upon my life, I don't know of anybody to go to it. I wouldn't mind going if a lunch is provided.
Spirit, are we in the past after all? Is this man preparing the grave of my old partner, Marley? I can't see any connection to myself. Never mind. I know you won't speak. You'll only stand there with that terrible outstretched hand. So I shall treasure up every word I hear and everything I see, and especially observe the shadow of myself when I appear. I expect the conduct of my future self will give me the clue I've missed. What is it? I feel like you're looking at me with your unseen eyes, and it makes me very cold.
So, you're staying to talk a while longer? Well, I can tell you what happened to some of his things. They went to the charwoman first, the laundress second, and the undertaker third. They thought a dead man wouldn't be worse for the loss of a few things. Well, if he wanted to keep him after he was dead, the wicked old screw, why wasn't he natural in his lifetime? If he had been, he'd have had somebody to look after him when he was struck with death, instead of lying gasping out his last there, alone by himself. The charwoman brought some of his things to market to sell, like his bed curtains. Said she'd taken him down, rings and all, with him lying there. Took his blankets too, but he isn't likely to catch cold without him, I dare say. That woman was born to make her fortune. I hope, for the sake of whoever buys 'em, that he didn't die of anything catching. That's enough for you, is it? Well, I'd best be on my way too, or the family won't wait on me for Christmas dinner.
Spirit, I see. The case of this unhappy man might be my own. My life tends that way now. Merciful heaven, what is this? Whose home have you brought me to? Is that a body beneath that ragged sheet? Spirit, this is a fearful place. I'm leaving it. I shall not leave its lesson. Trust me. Let us go. Why do you point to his head? Oh, I understand you, and I would do it if I could, but I have not this power, Spirit. I have not the power. Let me see some tenderness connected with a death, or this dark chamber will be forever present to me.
I'm home, my dear. Oh, your eyes.
I've just been working by candlelight. They must appear weak. But what about you? You've been walking a little slower than you used to these past few evenings.
It's true. I used to walk with Tiny Tim upon my shoulder very fast indeed.
But he was very light to carry, and you loved him so that it was no trouble. Did you go today, Robert?
Yes, my dear. I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how green a place it is. But you'll see it often. I promised him that I would walk there on a Sunday. My little child. My little child. I'm sorry.
Think nothing of it.
Oh, I met someone I didn't expect today.
Who's that?
Mr. Scrooge's nephew, whom I'd scarcely seen but a few times. He was extraordinarily kind. Meeting him in the street today, he saw that I looked a little down and inquired what happened to distress me. I told him, and he said, "I am heartily sorry for it, Mr. Cratchit, and heartily sorry for your good wife." By the by, how we ever knew that, I don't know.
Knew what, my dear?
Why, that you were a good wife.
Everybody knows that.
I hope they do. Well, heartily sorry, he said, for your good wife. If I can be of service to you in any way, he said, giving me his card, that's where I live. Pray come to me. Now, it wasn't for the sake of anything he might be able to do for us, so much as for his kind way that was quite delightful. It really seemed as if he had known our Tiny Tim and felt with us.
I'm sure he's a good soul.
You would be sure of it, my dear, if you saw and spoke to him. I shouldn't be at all surprised if he got Peter a better situation.
And then Peter will be keeping company with someone and setting up for himself.
It's just as likely as not, one of these days, though there's plenty of time for that, my dear. But however and whenever we part from one another, I am sure we shall none of us forget poor Tiny Tim, shall we? Or this first parting that there was among us.
Never, Robert.
And I know that when we recollect how patient and how mild he was, we shall not quarrel easily among ourselves and forget poor Tiny Tim in doing it.
No, never.
I am very happy. I am very happy.
Spectre, something informs me that our parting moment is at hand. I know it, but I know not how. Tell me what man that was whom we saw lying dead. The churchyard again, back to that grave. It looks older now and neglected. You point to the stone, but before I draw near, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of the things that will be, or are they the shadows of things that may be only? Very well. It has my own name. Ebenezer Scrooge. Am I that man who lay upon the bed? No, Spirit, hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I would have been. Why show me this, if I am past all hope? Good Spirit, assure me that I may yet change these shadows you have shown me by an altered life. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. Oh, tell me I may sponge away the writing on this stone.